Okay, we're going to be doing number 16, which wants us to find the derivative using the definition of derivative of the problem f of x is equal to negative 3x squared minus 5x plus 1 at the point 1 comma negative 7. Just going back, we know that the definition of the derivative is the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Now, a really big important thing is to remember to bring the limit as we work alongside all of our work, just so we don't forget it. The only time that you properly are supposed to drop the limit in mathematics is whenever you're doing your final substitutions, which is what the points are for. So let's get this started. The limit as h goes to 0, and so let's start with, of course, the f of x plus h part. All that is telling you is that whenever you see the x, you just plug in x plus h instead. Now I'm going to add parentheses to indicate that we're working on this first part of the problem. So negative 3x plus h squared minus 5x plus h plus 1. And we're going to continue that minus, and then this next part is just simply f of x, which is what we have right here. So we're going to do negative 3x squared minus 5x plus 1 all over h. Now, what we're going to do is factor out all of this. So we see that we have this part, we want to expand it. That's what I meant. We're going to expand. We're not going to necessarily factor out. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to expand all of these. So don't forget the limit as h goes to 0. Now this first part is going to be negative 3x squared. Okay, my bad. I actually messed up and put y instead of h for the next part, but just keep in mind that it is, in fact, h. That's supposed to be an h. The y right here is supposed to be an h, but I correct that later on. Just please keep that in mind. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to encapsulate those in parentheses. I'm going to add an extra parentheses because we're doing this first part. This set came just from this part. Okay, minus, and then now we're going to work on the 5x plus h part. So 5x plus 5h, those in parentheses, plus 1. Okay, now we're going to work on the second part. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller. Size. Oh, I didn't want to bring that h. Okay, whatever. Let's just, and then, oh. Okay, minus, this is the minus from right here. 3, well, we can just turn that into a plus now, because these two cancel each other out. So that means that we're going to flip all the signs. So this is just going to be a plus. This is going to be a plus. This is going to be a minus. So plus 3x, let me make it a little bit thinner. 3, not that thin, sorry. 3x squared plus 5x minus 1. And we're going to do that all over h. Now, 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 what are we going to do? Well, this is debatably the easiest part of all of this. We are going to start canceling out things. So we see that we have a negative 3x squared and we have a positive 3x squared. Well, we don't need them now. Okay, well, what about this 5x? Well, we have a negative 5x and we have a positive 5x. Well, we don't need that one either. Okay, what about the +1, -1? Don't need those. So now we're looking at the new and improved limit as h approaches 0 of negative 6xy minus 3y squared plus, okay, my bad. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. This should not be a y, this should be an h. I'm sorry, I got my variables mixed up. Please, I hope that didn't cause any confusion. If it did, I will redo that whole part. My apologies. Okay, sorry. So 3h squared and do plus 5h. And then those are all the variables that we still have all over h. Okay, let's continue. So what can we do to get rid of the h in the denominator? This has been our whole goal, is to get that h out of the denominator so we can sub in our 0 into here. Well, one thing we can do is we can factor out the h's, since we see that all of our top variables have an h in them. Let's do that. So the limit as h goes to 0, I'm going to pull out the h. We got negative 6x minus 3h plus 5 all over h. Well, we can just cancel that out. So now we have the limit as h goes to 0 of negative 6x minus 3x, minus 3h plus 5. Our last thing to do for this first part of the problem before we sub in our point is we substitute in that h that goes to 0. We finally get to do that. So this is whenever we can properly drop the limit, and we have negative 6x minus 3 times 0 plus 5, which is simply negative 6x plus 5. Okay, a quick way to check this, and this is a method that you're going to, do it like that. Oh, wow. Okay, so sorry. A method that you will find out later on, but I did demonstrate in my previous videos, is how to use the power rule, the quotient rule, and the product rule. Now, we simply have the problem, let's see. Let me bring this down, so copy. We're going to check this first part. Ooh. What? Why does it look like that? Oh, sorry, my pen tip was loose. Check. So, let me paste in. Sorry, I'm just learning how to do this. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I don't know how to paste, but we can just look at it. So, f of x is equal to negative 3x squared minus 5x plus 1. Okay, so we're going to check it using the, well, we just have to use the power rule here because there's no multiplication or division to use the quotient rule. So that says that we have, we multiply the exponent by the coefficient, and then we subtract the exponent by 1. So we have 2 times 3, which is 6x. 2 minus 1, well, that's just 1, so we don't need to even put anything. And then minus 5x, the derivative of 5x is just 5, and then the derivative of a coefficient is always 0, which is negative 6x minus 5. Same answers. Okay, now what do we do to plug in our points of 1 and negative 7? Well, that is very easy. All we do, you do f, the derivative of f when x is equal to 1, because our point is equal to 1, negative 7. And remember, this is the way to write derivative. I'm sorry, I'm blinking. And we're just going to do negative 6 times 1 minus 5. Negative 6 minus 5. And we have that equal to negative 11. So the slope of the line tangent to f of x minus 3x squared minus 5x plus 1 at the point 1, negative 7 is negative 11.